The bank staff that's been serving is over there, and there's a few scattered around. But they are the best staff that I know, and I'd ask for a round of applause for all the staff and people in blue shirts. And then, I don't know if you can see them or not, but Rick and Steph and Amy, they're acting like they're not hearing me. But they're from the cafe. They did all the food cooking and got the food ready and ordered things for us. So I'd like a round of applause for them. They did a great job putting this together. And then, again, we've got a table here, some things to give away. And then the last thing, before we get back to the music, of course, there are a few of the obligatory jokes. So I just have a couple of them. One of them was in a Catholic school, and there was a lunch line, and the kids are going through, and it was the first table had a whole stack of apples on it, and one of the nuns had written a note that said, "Take one, God is watching." And then a little farther down the line, there was another table with chocolate chip cookies, and a student had put a note on that said, "Take all you want, God's watching the apples." And then there's a story, and I'm going to do this partly in honor of Mikko because of his Irish roots. But there's the story about the Lutheran who was driving down a street and ran head-on into a car. And, of course, he jumped out of the car and he ran over, and the guy got out of the car and turned out he was an Irish priest. And they were both unhurt, and they both decided that it was a sign of God that they had had this accident and that neither of them had been seriously hurt. Well, the Lutheran got a gleam in his eye, and he went over to the trunk of his car and he got out a bottle of wine. And he said, I think we should have a drink for Thanksgiving that neither of us got hurt in this accident. Well, of course, the Irish priest said, "Yeah, sure, that'd be great. I'd love to have that." So the Lutheran poured a couple of glasses of wine and handed it to the Irish priest, and the Irish priest just tossed it back. And the Lutheran didn't drink anything, and the Irish priest said, "Well, aren't you going to drink?" And he said, "No, I think I'll wait for the highway patrol." And then the other one has to do with a bank employee. And I think all of you probably know Sherry, who's a teller at the window there. And Sherry's so quiet and calm and reserved. But there is another side to Sherry. And it was partly Scott's fault. Scott decided that they should really spend more time together, so he convinced her to take up deer hunting. So he went out and got her a gun and did all the training and everything. So they went out to go deer hunting, and they started out, and he said, "I'm going to go around this side of the hill, you go on that side. But remember, dear, that there are some men hunters who are going to try and intimidate you because you're a woman. And so don't let them intimidate you, stand your ground." She said, "Okay." So they started out, and a little bit later, Scott heard about 5 shots around the other side of the hill. So he took off and went over and came around the corner, and here Sherry's got a cowboy up against the tree with a rifle saying, "That deer is mine, you understand? That deer is mine, and I'm taking it." And the cowboy had his hands up, and he said, "Yes, ma'am, yes, lady, whatever you say. Just let me get my saddle off of it."